Have you ever watched a financial video all the way to the end and still had absolutely no idea what the person was talking about? Like, you pressed play with genuine hope. You wanted answers. You wanted clarity. But somewhere between quantitative easing and asymmetric risk exposure, you lost the thread completely, and you closed the tab feeling worse about your finances than when you started. I know that feeling. I've been there. My name is Deborah, and welcome to Deborah Invest. Now, before I tell you what this channel is about, let me tell you something personal, something I don't think enough people in this space are willing to say out loud. I am not a Wall Street veteran. I don't have decades inside an investment bank. I'm not going to stand here and pretend I've been managing hedge funds since before you were born. That's not my story. What is my story is this. I became genuinely, deeply, almost obsessively fascinated with finance. Not because someone handed it to me, but because I needed to understand it. I started studying because I was tired of feeling lost every time money decisions showed up in my life. Tired of nodding along in conversations I didn't fully understand. Tired of making choices that felt right in the moment but cost me later. And the more I studied, the more I realized something that honestly broke my heart a little. This information is not complicated. It's just been made to feel that way. The concepts that actually change people's financial lives, the ones the wealthy use every single day, are not complicated. They've just been wrapped in so much jargon, so much gatekeeping, so much "this is not for you" energy, that most people never even get close to them. That made me angry. And that anger turned into purpose. I started this channel because I want to be the person who translates, who takes the things I've spent years studying and breaks them down in a way that actually lands. For the person who's working 2 jobs and doesn't have time to read a 400-page finance book. For the person who never got taught any of this growing up. For the person who's smart, capable, and hardworking, but feels like the financial system was designed without them in mind. Because, honestly, in a lot of ways it was. Now, and I want to be upfront about this too, you may have noticed something about this video. You're not seeing my face. And yes, I know how that looks. I know the algorithm loves faces. I know connection happens faster when you can see someone's eyes. I know all of that. But here's the truth. I'm shy. Genuinely, properly shy. The kind of shy where the idea of sitting in front of a camera and hitting record makes my chest tight. I'm working on it. Truly, I am. But I'm not there yet. And I had a choice. I could wait until I felt ready, which, if I'm honest with myself, might be a very long time. Or I could start now, with what I have, the way I am, and let the value speak for itself. I chose to start, because the information I want to share with you doesn't become less true because you can't see my face. The lessons don't become less powerful. And maybe, just maybe, there's someone watching this who also feels like they need to be ready before they begin something important. And I want them to see that you don't. You just begin. So what are we actually going to talk about on this channel? We're going to talk about the things nobody taught us in school. Think about it. We spent years learning things, important things, genuinely, but nobody sat us down and explained how a mortgage actually works. Nobody taught us what happens to our credit score and why. Nobody explained the difference between an asset and a liability in plain, real language. Nobody told us that saving money in a regular bank account, while inflation runs at 3 or 4% a year, is actually a slow way of losing wealth and not building it. We graduated knowing how to write an essay and solve for X, but we had no idea how to build a financial life. And that gap, that enormous, expensive, completely avoidable gap, is costing people. Not just inconvenience money, real, life-changing money, generational money. On this channel, we're going to close that gap, together. We're going to talk about why your income is not the same thing as your wealth, and why some people earning 6 figures are quietly drowning, while others on modest salaries are steadily building something remarkable. We're going to talk about what it actually means to own capital instead of just saving, and why that shift in thinking changes everything. We're going to talk about housing costs and debt, and the slow financial traps that look totally normal from the outside. We're going to talk about building systems that grow your money even while you sleep, not because it's magic, but because of simple, consistent, boring mathematics that actually works. And we're going to do all of it without jargon, without condescension, without making you feel like you should already know this. I also want to say one more thing before I close this intro, because I think it matters. I'm not here to be perfect. This channel is new. The production is not going to be Hollywood. I'm figuring out these tools as I go, learning every single day, and there will probably be moments where it shows, but I think there's something honest about that. I'm not a finished product presenting a polished performance. I'm a person who cares deeply about this, doing the work in real time, sharing what I know as I grow. And I think that's what this space needs more of. Not more people performing expertise, but real people doing the genuine work of helping each other understand. If you've been feeling like the financial world was built for someone else, someone smarter, someone richer, someone with the right background, this channel is for you. If you're tired of advice that sounds good in theory but means nothing for your actual life, this channel is for you. If you're ready to stop feeling behind and start feeling equipped, you are in exactly the right place. I am so glad you're here. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. The first real video drops very soon, and trust me, we are starting with something good. My name is Deborah, and this is Deborah Invests. Let's build something.